everybody, welcome to Pillars of Eternity. There we go, there's the music. Alright, let's just pop into a new game. Path of the Damned now. Well, maybe. I don't know what I was gonna say before I said Path of the Damned, so fuck myself. Alright, hey guys, welcome to Pillars of Eternity. This is a game published by, okay, that's a lot of music, I'm sorry. So let's just do sound. I mean, I love the music. Yeah, let's put that at a nice round 20. I don't know what. Alright, anyway. So, Trial Binder. Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna play on Path of the Damned yet. So, anyway, so, Pillars of Eternity, published by Obsidian Games, also paired off. I've played this game a little bit on normal. I didn't get too far. I played on normal, I believe. And that's just like, normal difficulty requires strategy and efficiency, but forgives a few mistakes in combat. It is not recommended for newcomers to the real-time party-based RPG. And then I'm kind of like at a standstill, but I think I know a way around that standstill, but that's besides the point. Enemies receive a bonus to most stats. In Path of the Damned difficulty, enemies receive a bonus to most stats and encounters may have more enemies. Warning, this option cannot be changed in-game. It is only intended for players who want the most punishing encounters. Alright. How about hard? Hard difficulty is suited for Infinite Engine veterans who are looking for a challenge. Survival requires micromanagement and optimizations of strats through items, spells, and abilities. And then normal. Story time! Let's go! Alright. It's either normal and hard. Let's do hard, expert mode, and we're not doing Trial of Iron. Maybe if I just love the game so much, and like beat the game, we'll go back and do a Path of the Damned. And if I still am in love with the game, like, ooh baby, let's do more. We'll do a Pillars of the Damned, Pillars of Eternity, Path of the Damned, expert mode. Sacageway is Sex Life, Trial of Iron. And then maybe, like, we'll do a solo run of that, like, because that's an achievement. And then, I imagine through one of those gameplays, if we do get, I'm not gonna try and save scum much through this, but if we have to...
5 wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
Sounds like we will go no further tonight. Alright, for this coming up. Oh, wait, there's character creation here. I'm sorry. Alright. I'm a male, so I'll pick the male sex thing. I have went through this before, but I will read everything. Humans, commonly called folk, are the most common race in the Deerwood and Adir Empire. Old Valia and the Valian Republic, though not as large as the towering Amao. Humans are known for their strength and willpower. Resolve, +1. Might, +1. Whoops. Amawa. I think I'm gonna take this character. The mighty wow. This race I'm in. I like being that melee guy, you know. Alright. The mighty Amwawa are the largest of the Kith races, and are commonly found in or near oceans. Though not truly aquatic, they have an affinity for water, and many of their civilizations, such as Bretatai, are based on naval dominance. They are known for their unparalleled strength. See, just like me, beating everyone in them arm wrestles. Rawr. Alright. Dwarf! By virtue of land covered and number of colonies settled, dwarves are the most traveled race in the world. They are commonly found in the Deerwood and Valian Republic and almost any colonized land. Dwarves are known for their great strength and tenacity. +2 might, -1 dexterity, and +1 constitution. Elf. Elves are a dominant race in Ir Galath, Glanfath, and the white that wens are extremely common in the Deerwood and Adir. Elves are known for their speed and intelligence, as well as commonly isolationist in nature, as well as a blah. Alright, dexterity +1, perception +1, Orlan. I find it kind of funny how I'm playing the one character I don't know how to say the name correctly. Orlands! Well, assuming. Orlands are the smallest of the Kith races, though many cultures don't consider them to be civilized at all. Also notable for their large ears, two-toned skin, and hirsute bodies. Orlands are commonly found in Ir Galath, the something plains, Examital plains, maybe, and parts of the Deerwood. They are known for their mental intensity and sharp sense. Resolve +1, might -1, and perception +2. The godlikes are children of the Kith, civilized races. Civilized. Ooh, that's looks pretty cool. Maybe I'll play him later as a mage character. Okay. Who have been blessed with the physical aspects associated with the gods, though some do not consider it a blessing. These aspects may take many forms and often come with mystical powers. Aberrant head shapes are typical, and godlikes are unable to wear protective headgear, as it is near impossible to find anything that fits. Because of their unusual nature and their inability to reproduce, godlikes are often viewed with fear and wonder. Dexterity +1, intellect +1. Alright, I think I'm gonna go with the Amawa. Alright, so, viewed as a warlike race, the coastal Amawa live in a mainland region along with that coast of northern hemisphere lands they conquer by pushing Thyran, Thirtan, metaphor, Nathlan, Natlan, Savannah folk, and Orland communities out. But the Orlands, their culture is more centralized and urban than their island cousins. Though both groups are involved in seafaring, coastal Amawa are very rare in the Deerwood, but those that do make the journey usually do so as mercenaries, bodyguards, and soldiers. Towering physique, coastal Amawa gain bonuses to defend against prone and stun effects. Island Amawa originated in the Deadfire Archipelago, 1,000 miles south of the Billion Republics. These similar to their while physiologically similar to their coastal cousins, the coloration of the island Amawa is starkly different. Brown and yellow contrasting the coastal's blue and green. Though still uncommon in the Deerwood, the surrounding environments, island Amawa, are more commonly encountered there than coastal Amawa, who are quite rare. When encountered around the Deerwood, they are often laborers, fishermen, or sailors. These fine Amawa gain arm to the teeth. All island Amawa gain an additional weapon set. Alright, I think I'm gonna go with coastal Amawa. Jeez. Alright. So, barbarians. Brutes, madmen, berserkers. Those city-dwelling people often use the term barbarian with a dose of disrespect. These rural warriors are respected by their communities for their ferocity and fearsome persistence on the battlefield. Barbarians have a special, almost religious role in some cultures, but in many places, the undisciplined, fearless style of the barbarian is simply how warriors conduct themselves. Starting abilities. Carnage! When barbarians hit with melee attacks, they automatically make reduced damage attacks at all other enemies within short distance of the target. Athletics plus 2, survival plus 1. Endurance 48 plus 16 per level. Very high. Health 6 times endurance. Very high. Accuracy 25 plus 3 per level, average. And deflection 15 level. Chanter. In every culture across the aura, there are chanters. Many historians consider chanters to be the most ancient workers of magic. Their hallowed phrases stirring the collective memory of wayward souls around them, compelling them to generate magical effects and all kind of reenactment. In some societies, chanters form organized groups of storytellers and researchers, but in most parts of the world, there are just time-honored parts of local folk tradition. Starting abilities, phrases / chants. All chanters can continuously speak chants made up of magical phrases produce passive effects and help build chanters' power until they can use an invocation. Invocations, powerful magic effects that chanters can create after they have spoken a recurrent number of phrases through their chants. Lore plus 2, mechanics plus 1. Ooh, that might be a good rogue kind of thing, maybe? I don't know. Anyway. Endurance, 36 plus 12 per level. What was barbarian? Because, so we get the 16 and 48, and then 36 plus 12. So yeah, that's a pretty stark difference. Health 4 times endurance. Low. This one's 6 times endurance. Accuracy 25 plus 3 per level, and that's average. And then deflection 25, while the barbarians is low. Jeez. A recent discovery in the Eastern Reach ciphers were also called mine hunters. I'm not even gonna attempt that. By the Brishalgwin. I lied. I am attempting that. The Glanfethans ciphers by the Glanfethans ciphers have the ability to directly contact and manipulate another person's soul and psyche, using an ally or enemy's essence as the focus for their magic, though most ciphers are still found in the Eastern Reach. Practitioners of the techniques have spread through the known world. They are gaining acceptance over time, but are generally distrusted, especially by the uneducated. Starting ability, powers. Ciphers can directly target allies and enemies with powerful soul-focused effects. These powers cost focus, which ciphers build through the use of their soul whips. Cool. Stealth +1, lore +1, mechanic +1. Endurance very low. So what Chanter said. I like how he has a and yeah, he's like so very low. Health low, accuracy average, deflection average. So this is plus, this is like below average, stats, meaning that this is probably a little bit unbalanced towards the cipher's favor. Animalistic at heart. Oh, animalists at heart. Druids tap into the spiritual powers that flows through the simple living things of the aura, plants, animals, and sometimes even living stone. While not necessarily religious, Druids have a reverence for the natural world and a keen interest in understanding its mysteries. In most cultures, Druids are understood as a sort of primal magician. But among the Gallifants, Nasitaki, and many rural cultures, they may have a high position and influence of authority. Starting ability is Spirit Shift. All druids have mastered one animalistic form. These forms give the druid strong melee abilities and grant additional powers while the druid is shifted. Spells. Druids have access to a variety of spells of offense and some support-oriented spells. Every 2 levels, druids automatically gain access to an addition of spells. Initially, their spell can be cast a limited number of times per round. As druids gain power, their weaker spells eventually shift per encounter use. Ooh, smacks. And these are below average. Well, this as game powers that, and also Spirit Shift. +1 lore, +2 survival. Low average. Fighters perform on the front line. Fighters form the front line of discipline of armies across the Eastern Reach, though they are most commonly found in cultures where an organized martial structure. Fighters can also be encountered by wandering mercenaries, bodyguards, and other type of sellswords. The common element that unifies fighters is their heavy focus on endurance and melee defense. Starting ability, constant recovery. Fighters continuously regenerate endurance at a modest rate during combat. Athletics 1, lore 1, survival 1. High endurance, average endurance, high health, and very high accuracy and very high nutrition. So these are above average, leading me to believe that this is pretty weak. Monk. Monks belong to a variety of fighting orders that have sprung up in Examatil and the Eastern Reach over the past few centuries. While many monastic orders can trace their teachings to an enduring founder, Telektak, individuals, organizations vary greatly in their focus, morality, and ethics. Common folks respect the incredible discipline of monks, but see them as an odd, unpredictable bunch who may not be entirely sane. Even mercenaries and other adventurers aren't sure what to make of them. Alright, starting ability. Transcendent suffering. When monks have no weapons equipped, their unarmed attacks are exceptionally powerful and continue to increase in damage as they gain level. Wounds. As monks gain damage, their pain generates wounds. Wounds can be used to power many of the monk's special abilities. Sweet. Stealth +1, athletics +1, survival +1. I'm not gonna read the whole stealth allows the character of any class to attack, blah blah blah. I'm just kidding. So endurance 42 plus 12 divided by level. So average, high. Average, very high, high, which leads me to believe that transcendent suffering. Though it sounds pretty good, isn't that good, if you know what I'm saying. And then, wounds, I think that's also hey, blood for blood. So this has to be high to allow this to, this. Oh, that's average, but hey. This has to be pretty high to allow this to do a lot. Paladins. Paladins are martial zealots devoted to a god, a ruler, or even a way of life. They can be found in any culture where fanatical groups of like-minded individuals have formed a warrior society dedicated to advancing their cause. Among those aligned to their worldview, paladins are viewed with respect and admiration, if a bit of fear. Many paladins hold leadership positions in armies and mercenary companies. But in the heat of battle, their fanaticism often overrules the chain of command and common sense. Starting abilities, faith and conviction. Paladins have an inherited bonus to all of their defenses. Over the course of the game, the value of this bonus may shift based on the reputation of the paladin gains relative to their behavior as preferred by his or her order. That seems like an interesting mechanic. Athletics +2, lore +1, average, high, average. So this is slightly above average, leading me to believe this is slightly below average. Priests. Paladin priest. There. Priests are devotees to Eora's deities and practitioners of religious magic. While all priests dedicate themselves to specific gods, priest power is actually derived from their personal beliefs. In contrast to most paladins, priests tend to focus on philosophy, teachings, and the relationships of religious organizations with common folk. The reception of priests in any given part of the world depends largely on how their god is revered or reviled. by the people who live there. Starting abilities: Holy Radius. Radiance generates a modest amount of endurance for the allies around the priest, and any vessels caught in the area take burn damage and may be frightened. Over the course of the game, the power of this ability may shift based on the reputation the priest gains relative to the behaviors that are preferred by his or her deity. Spells priests have access to a variety of support, some offensive. Oh, Jesus, excuse me. Offensive-oriented spells. Every 2 levels, priests automatically gain access to an additional set of spells. Initially, their spells can be cast a limited number of times per rest, as the priests gain power their weaker spells. Okay, so yeah, this is actually like very low, leading this to seem to be like to counter that. Like, this is an average of very low. Alright, I think everything's good now. So, leading this to be, like, high, and this to be high, but granted, this seems to be pretty low. But this, like, again, this is pretty high, like. Alright, Rangers. Rangers are warriors of the woodland and masters of the hunt. Always partner with a soul-bonded animal companion that they can be found in wild spaces all over the world, as their lifestyles often tend towards independence and isolation. It's rare for Rangers. Blah blah blah. Alright, as their lifestyles often tend towards independence and isolation, it is rare for Rangers to become an integral part of a large fighting force, though they are often employed as scouts and guides. Starting ability: Animal Companion. All Rangers share a strong bond with an animal companion. The companion fights at the Ranger's command and is extremely valuable ability to run interference. Animal companions don't do much damage, but they have high damage reduction. The link between the Ranger and the companion is powerful, and if one goes down in battle, the other suffers as well. So stealth +1, survival +2, endurance very low, health high, accuracy very high. So this, like, this seems like, so, like, a little bit above average. Like, these become average, then high, like a little bit above average. So this, I'm guessing, a little bit below average. But it seemed like the last part of this, like if one goes down in battle, I think that brings us down a little, making it even. Rogues are vicious killers, feared for the brutality of their attacks. They can be found as often in dark black alleys as the heart of battlefield skirmishes. Through unpredictable and undisciplined, rogues are commonly used as shock troops or as part of a surprise assault. Their withering attacks, breaking enemy ranks, and morale. Rogues tend to congregate in larger numbers in cities, where they can be steadily employed as mercenaries or hired muscle. Sneak attack applies bonus damage to the rogue's range and melee attacks through the target has any of the following afflictions: blinded, flanked, hobbled, paralyzed, petrified, but prone, struck, enemy stunned, or weakened. If it also applies to any target the rogue strikes with a weapon within the first 2 seconds of combat. Stealth +1, mechanics +2, very low, very low, very high, very low. So, below average, above average. The Masters of Academic Magic Wizards are students of the arcane tradition that stretch back beyond the boundaries of the recorded history. The Wizards are a highly organized group, often forming academies or guilds devoted to research and development in magic studies, and tend to favor environments where inquiry, experimentation, debate, and dissemination of knowledge, dissemination of knowledge are encouraged. May accomplished wizards eventually become known for their eccentricity, egos, and their unquenchable interest in all things arcane and occult. Jeez. Arcane Assault. Mid-range attack that hits a small area for raw damage and can leave targets dazed. Raw damage? Sounds pretty good. Wizards have access to a variety of offensive and personal defensive spells. Unlike priests and druids, wizards learn individual spells that they store and cast directly from their grimoires. Grimoires can only hold 4 spells of each spell level, which motivates wizards to keep multiple grimoires for different needs. Every 2 levels, wizards gain access to an additional set of spells. However, they can automatically learn 1 spell of any level that they can access each time they advance. Wizards also have the option of learning spells from grimoires as they find or buy. Initially, their spells can be cast a limited times per rest. As wizards gain power, their weaker spells eventually shift to per counter use. Now, this guy sounds OP on paper, but also his stats are average of very low. 3 very low and 1 low, meaning I'm surprised the accuracy was very low, but meaning that spells and arcane assault are pretty OP. I think I'm gonna do the barbarian. I'm one of those guys that just love the barbarian. Barbarians, berserkers, I love them. In these types of games, if you were wondering, in my previous thing I was playing as a monk, but I kind of played him as a barbarian. Like, granted I didn't have 2 weapons, I had more what, like, the chanter, the cipher had. I don't get why these characters carry. Granted, I don't know if that's a 2-handed sword, but based on the hilt, I would say it is. As opposed to this one, who, yeah. Alright. Frenzy. Sends the barbarian into a frenzied state, granting might and constitution and attack speed bonus, but causing a deflection penalty while against incoming attacks. While the barbarian frenzy is active, his or her endurance are concealed. So, I don't know. Once per counter, speed. Average. User +4 might, +4 constitution, +33% attack speed, and -10 deflection, health, and endurance are concealed for 12 seconds. I wish it told us what concealment, because that is something I would like to see. Barbaric Yell. Lets out a terrifying yell, frightening enemies in the area of effect. 2 per encounter, average. Area effect 5 meters radius. Foe AoE frighten. Alright, I'm gonna go frenzy because I'm kind of curious on what. Wait, what? Carnage. Okay. Okay. Alright, so Might. So I'm thinking might and constitution, while intellect, like, sure, 20. Like, that's pretty good. Constitution. Like that? I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking this guy's just gonna be fucking shit up. The only thing I kind of want is resolve. Intellect. I don't think a barbarian needs to be that smart. And perception. Like, granted, hey, accuracy might be nice, but sure. So a deer. Right. Alright, the Deer Empire is currently the largest and most powerful force in this part of the world. It is centered around the equator and has tropical climate. Though the Empire has colonies in numerous areas of the world, the Greater Adir is at its heart the houses of majority of its human and elven nations. Wait. Oh, I can go to 21. Ah, that's cool. Consisting of the nation's Nastique, dozens of Amwa settlements, and hundreds of lawless pirate-infested islands that stretch along the southern sea. Deadfire is home to a boreal dwarf, Amawa, and a mixed variety of other races. Deadfire Archipelago is the last stop for anyone headed east. A multitude of monstrous sea creatures infest the ocean, beyond making travel virtually impossible. The plains, Examatil Plains, located to the northeast of Irglanfath. The Exmaltil Plains are a large expanse of fertile savannas and are extensively farmed by humans and Orland residents. The Exmatil culture is one of the oldest in the world, though one of the least imperialistic, having spread out over the past several thousands of years. Resolve +1. Dexterity +1, and resolve +1. I'm liking this. Like, I'm liking that. I don't like that. Old Valia, once the crown jewel of the southern seas, Old Valia is now the crumbled remnant of the empire of warring merchant nations, counting many humans and dwarves among their ranks. The old Valian countries are still forced to be reckoned with, and are proud of their rich cultural heritage. +1 intellect. Ratue, +1 constitution, dominated by the Amwa nation of Ratue. The Gulf itself is host to a number of nations, most of them Amwa, Orlan, Oran, Dwarven. These countries are relatively young. I'm thinking this one because, yeah. Anyway, are some of the most advanced colonial settlements in the east. The Gulf is a land of riches and resources for those who can take them. Though the entire coast is often pummeled by violent storms. Constitution +1. I'm thinking that. But hey. The living lands, my +1. Granted. Hey. I can be high and mighty. The living lands is a mountainous region of a large northern island renowned for its diversity of plant and animal life. Its weather is unpredictable and its ecosystem very dramatically from valley to valley. The living lands are home to an assortment of races and a variety of colonial and independent settlements. My +1. The white that wins. A large, cracked, southern expanse of polar ice. The white that wins is home to pale elves and small colonies of daring explorers, outcasts, and adventurers. While virtually no plant life grows in the white, it is home to many hardy species of dangerous animals that forage from the sea or prey upon others to survive. So, I'm thinking red toy. So this doesn't change the starting hero. So, aristocrat, you've lived your life amongst the nobility. Your days have been marked by lavish meals and extravagant parties. Your conversations peppered with talk of pedigree and bloodlines. Oh, I was only 20% royal fish meat and 90% royal lobster meat. Oh, aristocrat. Alright. You never quite fit in, no matter where you go. Each new town is just a place to rest briefly before moving on to the next. You are more comfortable on the road, traveling the world. As a drifter, stealth +1, mechanics +1. Labor. Your life has been spent in the study of your craft. You trained and prepared, hoping to hone your skills and ply your trades. Athletic +1, mechanics +1. You've traded goods from all over the world, pairing items with buyers of all kinds. Lore +1, mechanics +1. You have never known freedom. Shackles and chains have bound your existence, and someone has told you what to do your entire life. Athletics +1, survival +1. Dissident. You've made a name for yourself as a troublemaker. Disrespect for authority and lack of care regarding the rules are recurring themes in your life. Self +1, lore +1. Hunter, you live for the thrill of the chase, whether the glory or the sustenance. You have made your living taking the lives of wild creatures. Stealth +1, survival +1. Mercenary, blade and battle is your way of life. You solve your problems by pulling out your weapon and applying force. Athletics +1, lore +1. Scholar, for you, knowledge is a relentless pursuit of. You hoard each kernel of information as though it were precious metal. And time you don't spend learning is time wasted. Alright, so slave labor mercenary. Because those are the ones with athletics. And me, as a might of 20 and a constitution of 18 and everything else plain 10s. Life is boring. Life is boring with 4 10s. That, like, I wish it was kind of randomized. Because I don't like it. It just doesn't seem right. Alright, athletics or labor. Mechanics deal with, like, I'm thinking labor. Alright. I'm gonna go with this one because I don't like this one. Granted, that does sum up my character like 200%. I don't like it. It makes me look dumb and like titties. Alright. No, I didn't expect that. Sure. I actually like the first hairstyle that we were given Beth. Yeah. Alright, I'm good with that. Smooth.
Yeah?
Now I am the leader of the group. Shh.
I'm here. I'm flattered.
Stand together! Shh.
I'm not very benevolent.
Yeah?
Kind of feisty.
Follow me.
Kind of stoic.
You better run!
I'm definitely quite cocky.
Let's keep quiet. Oh? Leading the way.
Yeah. Silence surrounds me.
Leading the way.
Let's go!
Keeping quiet.
I like stoic. Enter name! Shit. There we go. I can't be Druid, the level 1 Barbarian. I can be Druid, the level 1 Druid. Because, like, that's kind of like a last name. Like, the class that you want to be. Your parents want you to be when you grow up. The Kevin Master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red mustache and sagging jaw quibbling for as if for emphasis. I actually am gonna stop here, considering it took us 48 minutes to do that character creation. This will be like episode 1 character creation, and then actually no, it'll be episode 0 character creation. So I love all your faces. Please subscribe. Make sure to leave a comment. Tell me how I did. Please be honest. I know my sexy voice might persuade you to do a absurdly nice comment that makes me want to take my dick off. I mean, what? That's not what I went for. What I was going for. But it's what I went for. So, thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe. I'm gonna do some more of these videos. Peace.